My YouTube channel. This is Monday, September 9th, and we're going to be learning about people who get in fights and possibly die.
Yay.
Whoa! Let's see. We have our full week of learning this week, which we have not had in a hot minute. With that, also, I understand you're whining and complaining because we do have work this week, because we didn't really have any work last week, but the work you do have this week before you give up, drop out of school, and begin pouting, you should be able to get all done in class each day. So you only have homework if you choose to have homework. Like as in last Friday you had homework, but you should have gotten it done because it was the left side of the back side of the homeworky thing, which is officially due coming up on Thursday. But today we're going to do the right hand side, which again, in theory, you're going to have all done because you pay attention and you're such good kids, he says, hopefully. Tomorrow we are going to, do you guys know what nonfiction is?
Yeah.
So the nonfiction article, which like from a newspaper, although I get to pick my own nonfiction articles, so I try to find ones I find interesting. I found two for tomorrow about parents who let their junior high kids get tattoos. And so we're going to read articles about whether or not adults should let junior high kids get tattoos, and we're going to have a little discussion. There is like a little homeworky thing that goes with it, but again, you should get it done in class unless you just completely zone out. And you have best tomorrow, so worst case, you could get it done during then. Wednesday, we have a thing we're going to do in class. We're going to have to practice writing a paragraph because Thursday, you have like a real paragraph you have to write. It says there's homework on Thursday, but you should get it done in class unless you really have issues. Otherwise, you should be able to get it done without too much of a problem. And then Friday, that is when the tattoo homework comes due in case you don't get it done in class. And we have a quiz on Friday, but it's not on Canvas. This is why I sent this out on the message thing yesterday. So it's called Socrative, and so it's a free download. There's two different ones. One is called Socrative Student, and one is Socrative Teacher. You can download the Socrative Teacher one. It just allows you to make your own quiz if you want to make one. But you'll probably want the Socrative Student one to be able to take my quiz on Friday. And so that'll be coming up Friday. Daniel!
I was going to say, can I call you doing best?
Can you come to me during best?
Monday.
I don't bring kids to best.
Why not?
Because I have 1,000 kids in here, because every kid wants to get out of their best and come in here.
Yeah.
Not realizing that my kids lose a bunch of B points during best because you have to sit there and work and you're distracting. So my 7th period loses more points during best than during class. So the idea of bringing more kids in here for me to charge points to just sounds like a nightmare. But I hate my best. Me too.
Mom, it's boring.
Just be staring at the camera.
Don't you like it?
Oh, see, and then quiz, B points are updated. We're good to go there.
I gotta use it.
So, Friday's quiz is open note with the pink sheet, so you technically get to use it, but it does you no good if you have no idea what's on your pink sheet. As an example, if you've not finished the end from Friday, I can help you with that real quick. Let's do this. What is the one-word definition of internal conflict? Decision. What word do you have to use? Or what word should never be used?
No.
So, for the princess, what internal conflict does she have? No is a lot like not.
Save
I'm
boy
gonna go
or
with
kill boy?
no. Say what?
Save boy or kill boy?
I could go with that one. That sounds a little bit better. I went for the kill boy or get a hot chick.
That's not
Cheering hot chick. And then Gardner's son, what decision does he make?
Left or right?
He never chooses a door.
Look at princess.
What did you say?
Trust
Choose
the
princess
princess.
or? Maddie, I thought I got to attacking for a moment. I would trust princess or make own decision. It's weird. Could have sworn there was the word don't in there a second ago.
What?
I know, kids nowadays. External conflict. What is our one-word definition for that?
Outside. Versus
Battle.
Versus blank.
What word do you have to use?
Versus fighting. Blank versus blank.
So what is our big fight in that?
Boy versus whatever indoor.
I'll take boy. And the last thing at the bottom, you had to give me a sentence explaining why it's important to the story. So hopefully at the bottom, where you did the boy versus king, you wrote a sentence explaining why. I did also boy versus the two doors if you wanted to. And so then don't forget your external conflict at the very bottom. So in theory, all of that left-hand side is done. Omar?
Isn't Princess versus Big Decision technically internal conflict?
Not bad. And so the issue on that one is her making the decision is going to be that big internal conflict. The only reason I put that on there is I had a kid convince me last year that her tossing and turning and being all upset, that was sort of like a battle. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll put it on there for kids next year. So I broke down because a kid gave me an argument, so I was trying to be good with it. But I feel the same way as you, but you know how kids are nowadays.
They're idiots.
I wasn't going to say those words out loud, but. So, for the homeworky bits, you're just going to go look on the right-hand side. Same thing we did for the other story. We just have a new story about new deathy bits. So on here, on plot, if you want to circle 1 and 5, those are the only 2 plot you have to do on your own. I will help you with 2, 3, and 4. Just the very beginning of it, and then the very end. Same thing with characters and stuff like that. You are, again, the pencil would help. Welcome to write stuff in as we go through, and I'll try to help you at the end after Brian asks a question.
What is it, Mike?
Can I say the title?
Of the story? Sure, what is it?
The story of the Fisherman.
You seem so happy. Hi, Jaden, what's up?
That's why I like trouble.
Can you print me a picture of the little thing over there?
One more time in English?
Can you print me a little thing of the thing?
So, I got the words, it's the meaning behind them. You keep pointing back there and going, can you bring? And then you go, hing-a-ling-a-hing-a-hing. And then I get confused.
Can you print me a picture of my picture?
So you want another copy of that?
Yeah.
Yes, I can do that. So it might require you to write me a note and put it on my desk because I'm an old person and I'll keep forgetting. But if you do that, then I don't know. Well, neither do I. What's up?
Can you put me up there next week?
If you earn it, he had to earn it. I don't just rant.
How did he earn
A bunch of haters in here. So the way I pick student of the week is I rotate from one week to the next. And so I'd already picked 7th period, and that was 6th period, and that was 1st period. So I was looking for a kid that was going to come from either 3rd, 4th, or 5th. And I already had 2 girls, and so I was looking for a boy from 3rd, 4th, or 5th. And I was looking through all those 3 classes, and Jaden, from the beginning of the year when we had a couple struggles, and then last week he was on fire, and I was like, why not be good to the kid that made good choices? He didn't lose any points, had everything turned in, volunteered for the week. That's what I look for, so I was happy. Annabelle. Just me. I don't know the other team. I don't care about them. I only care about me. Now, student of the month, we all decide together. Student of the week is just me. I don't care about them. I get to make my own choices.
Yeah.
So there is homework on that side. Let's go through today's. Wait, Brian, I forgot. What's the story called again?
The story of the Fisherman.
Thank you, Brian. You're so helpful.
I
I don't know. It happened. Story of the Fisherman. Before we get a chance to start it, though, I have to explain this thing up there in the top on yours where it says archaic pronouns. It's going to play a role in the story. Archaic, the word archaic means really old from a long time ago and kind of useless today.
Like you?
Wow. I was going to say your grandparents, but sure, you can fire shots at me. If you've ever seen one of these things,
Back in your day. That's back in your day.
You have that phone back in your day.
have any of you guys ever actually made a call on one of these?
I have.
In a nursing home.
I was scared. I actually had that phone.
I knew it.
You know,
Mr. Brilliant, you were matching the yellow one.
Brinley.
I just forgot to put my hand down.
That happens, Brinley. So, archaic, again, means really old, kind of useless. Did not expect you guys to attack me quite so quickly. Here, when it talks about archaic pronouns, it's the pronouns thee, thou, and thy. We don't use them anymore. They used to be used all the time, but they were used to show power over someone. You would use them like if you were like a boss to an employee or a teacher down to a student. You would say, if thou keeps talking, I'm going to charge thy B points until thee starts to cry. And so that would be the way of showing power over someone else. Just like if Mr. Butts, our principal, came in, he could use them to me. I could not use them to him. If he was like, Mr. Brovicast, is thou yelling at thy students and beating them? And I'm like, I am. And he's like, I'm going to fire thee. And I'm like, no. And so that would be him using it down to me. If you were to use archaic pronouns to me, you'd get in trouble for being sassy, because that'd be your way of trying to show you're more important. So if you go, Mr. Broviac, is thou going to assign us homework? Because I don't like when thy does. Like, you little sucker. I'd come right. So along those same lines, if you want to be sassy tonight when you go home and you see the big people in your house and they're making dinner, you can go, Mom, what is thou making for dinner tonight? It smells delicious. Thy is so kind. I love thee. And she'll be like, aw, don't you sound all fancy. And you'll be like, and you can just sit there and giggle, knowing the fact that you just put her in her place. Then to follow it up, you can also go, hey, Mom, you're looking really archaic today. And she'll be like, thank you. And you'll be like, ha 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 ha. And you can just run away giggling and hoping she's not watching this video. Jaden.
If I say that thou to my mom,
You
if I
can.
say thou to my mom, she can probably say shut up.
That's Thou shalt shut thy face. Yeah. Daniel.
How do you use them old phones you showed?
Have
Like
you used
roll
them?
it to
You go
pick
like-
the numbers.
You roll your number and then you hold
Like
out
317.
Oh, the old rotary phones? Yeah.
Mr. Brovia,
They would
you
do the
matching
same
the
thing.
yellow one?
We were doing like a little dialing thing and it would spin. Huh?
did you plan to match with the yellow one?
No, just naturally. It has like all the colors up there. It covers like all of my shirts. I'm a colorful
Where's
person.
the elbow?
Adrian,
I thought every single person was equal.
they are. Just some are more equal than others.
Am I your favorite?
So, let's get into the story. Oh, by the way, ironically, there's no fish in this story. Even though it's called The Story of the Fisherman, we're going to get into it. And there's something better than fish, which you'll find out. Oh, those of you trying to have less homework, as we get into the start here, you can figure out like the first plot point. You can figure out one of the main characters. You can figure out part of the setting. Like a lot of the stuff you'll figure out right away. The Story of the Fisherman. There was once upon a time a fisherman so old and so poor that he could scarcely manage to support his wife and 3 children. He went every day to fish very early in the morning. Each day he made a rule not to throw his nets more than 4 times. He started out one morning by moonlight and came to the seashore. He undressed and threw his nets, and as he was drawing them towards the bank, he felt a great hiccup. He felt a great weight. He thought he had caught a large fish, but he felt very pleased. But a moment afterwards, seeing that instead of a fish, he only had in his nets the body of an old rotted donkey, he was much disappointed. Upset with having such a bad haul, once he had mended his nets, which the carcass had broken in several places, he threw them a second time. In drawing them in, he again felt a great weight, so that he thought they were full of fish. But he only found a large basket full of rubbish. He was much annoyed. Oh, fortune! Do not trifle thus with me, a poor fisherman who can hardly support his family. So saying, he threw away the rubbish, and after having washed his nets clean of the dirt, he threw them for the 3rd time. But he only drew in stones, shells, and mud. He was almost in despair. Pause for Broviart.
Robiort?
Where's our story taking place?
In the seashore.
In the
On the seashore.
Oh.
When throughout all of time?
A long time ago.
Long time ago.
Long
That's
time
what
ago.
What time of day?
Morning.
So early in the morning that what is still out? That so early the moon is still out. Who's our main character?
Fisher.
Fisherman. And one, he doesn't use a fishing pole. What does he use instead?
Net.
So when they say net, they mean like this kind of net, where like you throw it out, it has little weights on it, and the net comes down, like hugs the fish, and you pull it back, like, come here, little fishies, and you get to give the little fishies a hug. That's what he's talking about when throwing out of the net. Plus, he's kind of religious and says he's only going to throw his net a certain number of times if he's going to catch anything. How many times will he throw it?
4.
4. The first time he throws it, what does he get?
Donkey.
Yeah.
Dead
One,
donkey.
I don't think I'd eat food where you have dead donkeys in there, but that's just my own choice. But he has dead donkey, fixes his net, throws it again. Second throw he gets trash and garbage and rubbish. Again, not a good thing for a food
I wouldn't
area.
eat that.
And then the last one he gets
Nothing.
rocks and shells. How many throws does he have left?
One.
One throw left. And if he doesn't get anything, I guess his kids are going to chew on a shell. Omar.
Or eat a donkey.
Where was it again?
Seashore. You know, right here.
Why is he reeling in there?
Because I couldn't find a good one with the guy with the net, so I just used my imagination. Addy Batty?
Is it summer?
I don't know. It doesn't really say. So if that makes, does it say season?
Is this time of year?
Oh. Does it say time of year? I meant to say time of day.
Wait, what's the time of year?
Time of day. I didn't mean time of year. He then threw his nets for the fourth time. When he thought he had a fish, he drew them in with a great deal of trouble. There was no fish, however, but he found a golden container, which by its weight seemed to be full of something. And he noticed that it was fastened and sealed with lead, with the impression of a king's seal smashed into the top of it. He was delighted. I can sell it to the metal foundry, and with the money I shall get for it, I shall buy a bushel of wheat. Quick pause. His fourth throw. Does he catch a fish?
No.
What does he catch instead?
Big gold bucks.
And here's where my
Wait.
show and tell comes in.
What is that?
Now, I didn't have a golden jar, but I have one with Star Wars on it, which makes it as good as gold. And so this is what, don't you shake your head. And this is what he pulls out with that one. Now, he's still excited, even though you can't eat it. And why is he still excited?
He can sell it for money.
He can sell it and get fat cash. But if he's smart, what should he do before selling it? Yeah. When it says the seal on the top of it, he doesn't mean like an art kind of seal. It means there's like a symbol smashed into the top, and it's the symbol of the king. And so, hopefully this means it comes from someone famous or rich. And nothing but good stuff's going to happen.
Doesn't like lead delete you around to something?
It can. That's why he shouldn't chew that part. He can chew the rest of it. He examined the jar on all sides and shook it to see if it would rattle. But he heard nothing. So, judging from the impression of the seal and the lid, he thought there must be something precious inside. To find out, he took his knife and with a little trouble, he opened it, turned it upside down, and nothing came out. It surprised him very much. So he set it in front of him, and while he was looking at it attentively, a thick smoke came out that he had to step back a pace or two. The smoke rose up to the clouds, stretching over the sea and the shore, formed a thick mist which astonished the fisherman. When all the smoke was out of the jar, it gathered itself together and became a thick mass in which appeared a genie, twice as large as the largest giant. When he saw such a terrible-looking monster, the fisherman would like to have run away, but he trembled so much with fright, he could not move a step. Quick pause. So he decides to open it. He follows your advice, pulls out his knife. This is my trusty knife. Stabs the lid. Stabby, stabby, stabby. Pops it open. And then what comes out? Nothing. He's like, pooey, and drops it down. And then what comes out? Smoke. He's like, it's a smoke bomb. But the smoke bomb just keeps on going until what does the smoke bomb form into?
A genie.
Now, those of you who know your genies, what do we know about them?
3 wishes. They grant you a
They
wish.
grant you your 3 wishes. So apparently, our poor fisherman who's been having a bad day, everything is about to change.
Why is it jelly?
Great king of the genie! Cried the monster in front of him. I will never again disobey you. At these words, the fisherman took courage. What is this you are saying, great genie? Tell me your history and how you came to be shut up in that vase. At this, the genie looked at the fisherman haughtily. Here, haughtily does not mean like hotly. Haughtily is like when you think you're all that in a bag of chips. If you can imagine you run into Kim Kardashian on the street and you run up to give her a hug, the look she would give you, like, oh my God, no, that is haughtily. That is how the genie looks down. Look at the fisherman, haughtily. Thou shalt speak to me more respectfully before I kill thee. Alas, why would you kill me? I just freed you. Have you already forgotten that? No, but that will not prevent thy death. And I am only going to grant thee one favor, and that is to choose the manner of thy death. But what have I done to you? I cannot treat thee in any other way, and if thou would knowest why, listen to my story. 2 things real quick. Does the genie offer him wishes?
No.
Well, technically, just doesn't offer 3. He offers how many?
1.
The genie just did not pass math class. And what kind of wish is it?
How to die.
You get to choose how you're going to die. Ooh, have you found any archaic pronouns so far?
Die.
Who's using them?
G.
So who has power?
G.
Uh-huh. What's up?
Can't you just tell him, Genie, don't kill him, that's one of the wishes.
I mean, basically, he only says your wish is you get to choose how you die.
So I don't die.
Well, that's what you want to go with. Listen to my story. I rebelled against the king of the genie. To punish me, he shut me up in this vase of copper, and he put on the leaden cover his seal, which is an enchantment powerful enough to prevent my coming out. Then he had the vase thrown into the sea. During the first period of my captivity, I vowed if anyone should free me before 100 years were past, I would make him so rich, even his grandchildren would not be able to spend all his wealth. But that century passed, and no one freed me. So in the 2nd century, I vowed that I would give all the treasures in the world to my deliverer. But he never came. So in the 3rd, I promised to make him a potent king, to be always near him, and to grant him 3 wishes every day. But that century passed away as the other 2 had done, and I remained in the same plight. At last, I grew angry at being captive for so long, and I vowed that if anyone would release me, I would kill him at once, and would only allow him to choose in what manner he should die. So you see, as you have freed me today, choose in what way you will die. Real quick, how long was the genie trapped?
A while.
400
4 centuries.
Well, we don't really
So
know.
at least over 300 years before he went into full grumpy mode. Ooh, did you catch why he got put in the jar?
because he tried to rebel against the king.
Apparently he channeled his inner teenager and got sassy because it says that he rebelled against the king of the genie, which I'm guessing is like rebelling against a parent, and he got grounded. You guys get sent to your room without a phone. He got stuck in a jar for 300 years. So that might make your being in your room sound a little bit better.
No.
Unfortunately, our fisherman doesn't want to die. He thinks dying sounds like a grumpy thing. The fisherman was very unhappy. Well, what an unlucky man I am to have freed you. I implore you, spare my life. I have told thee that it is impossible. Choose quickly. Thou art wasting time. The fisherman began to devise a scheme. What's a scheme?
A plan.
A plan. Okay, well, since I must die, before I choose the manner of my death, I ask you, on your honor, to answer me truly one question. And don't say anything. I'll be interested to see if you guys figure out what his plan is before it gets there. Answer me truly one question. The genie, finding himself presented with such a positive response to his command, trembled and replied, "Ask what thou wilt, but make it quick." I wish to know if you really were in that vase the whole time? I mean, dare you swear it by the name of the great God? I do swear by the great name that I was. Huh. Yeah. I really cannot believe it. That vase could not even contain one of your feet. How could your whole body go in? No, I can't believe it. Unless I see you do this incredible thing. Is it possible that thou dost not believe me after the solemn oath I have taken? Truly not I, nor will I believe you unless you can, go into the vessel again. Do you see what's going to happen?
Yes.
No.
Then the genie began to change himself into smoke, which, as before, spread over the sea and the shore, and which then, collecting itself together, began to go back into the vase, slowly and evenly, till there was nothing left outside. Then a voice came from the vase, which said to the fisherman, "Well, unbelieving fisherman, here I am in the vase. Do you believe me now?" The fisherman, instead of answering, quickly took the lid of lead and slammed it down quickly on the vase. "Oh, genie, now it is your turn to beg my favor, but I shall throw you into the sea from where I took you. Then I'm going to build a house right here on the shore so that I can warn fishermen who come to cast their nets here against fishing up such a wicked genie as thou art, who vows to kill the man who frees thee." At these words, the genie did all he could to get out, but he could not because of the enchantment of the lid. Then he tried to get out by cunning. "Open the vessel, give me my liberty, and I promise to satisfy thee till thy own happiness is fulfilled." "Thou art a traitor," replied the fisherman. "I should deserve to lose my life if I were such a fool as to trust thee." "If I trust myself to thee," continued the fisherman, "then I am sure you will surely betray me again in the future when it suits your needs. No, you shall forever remain encased in this tomb." Dun dun dun.
That's great.
So, did you guys predict correctly what was going to happen with Ogle?
Yeah.
So, now that we've had our fight with the genie, what is our fisherman's plan?
Keep him in there forever.
By doing what?
Making
Warning
a
everyone that
house to
goes
warn
there.
people about it.
Before that?
He gonna make a house so he can warn everybody that's how to go there.
Good. Before that?
Matrix.
What's he going to do with the container?
Go back in the
You
water.
got to get the chucking it into the water. Then that's where the house comes in.
Yeah.
Then that's where the warnings to all those other fishermen comes in, where he's like, it's a bad, bad genie, and thus trapping him in there forever and ever and ever. Nate!
Why did no one die in either?
What was that?
Why did no one die in either story?
I know, so don't worry, we'll get to stories where people... He threatened to kill him, we have to baby step into it. I don't want to freak kids out too quickly. So we'll do our best to try to... Oh! Speaking of, did you guys catch the pronouns at the story?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, they changed.
Fisherman was the new boss.
So who's using them at the end?
The
Fisherman.
Because who has power?
He died.
Yeah. Now the fisherman gets to be all flexy, flexy, dance, dance, dance. And so he gets to be the sassy one. So, since you guys have all the homework already completed, let's go over it with you to make sure we have some of the same answers, since I know you guys are completely finished. Characters! Who are the two main characters?
The genie and the fisherman.
the fisherman.
So, for how many of you, for your description of fishermen, did you put old?
I'll put me.
And then realize you can't use that?
I'll put me.
Why can't you use old?
Because the genie's old.
Yeah, the genie's older, so you can't use old. I know, not the worstest.
You're almost
So
as old.
what can you use instead then?
Fishes.
Or would work.
Wearing a hat.
Technically, you can put fishes. Now, we don't know if he's wearing a hat. You can't use my picture. You have to use what was in the story. Yeah?
Human.
I would take human. That definitely does not apply to the other one. Nate?
Well, for the genie, it trapped in a box for 400
Magic.
years.
That would work too. You could do magic. I can see that. Penny? Did you say can or can't? can't for the human, I would accept that. But the genie can fit the bottle. Sassy. Anybody?
Can I put religious?
You can, because that's what I put also. Annabelle?
Or if the genie, can you put loud?
Sure, I'd go with that. He does need a lot of the yelly, screamy stuff. Brinley?
I put smart for the fisherman.
I would accept that also, because I don't know how to apply that to the genie. Daniel?
For the genie, I'll put mean.
I would accept that. I put mean also. That works for me. For the setting, wind throughout all the time.
Long time.
There you go. Long time ago. What time of day?
Seashore.
Early in the morning.
Early in the morning. Seashore is not a time of day. Where does it take place? That's where your seashore comes in. I also threw in Middle East because I realized that we don't have a lot of genies around here. Every time I've gone to Target, they're all out, so I don't think they have them here.
What?
So I think you probably have to go farther away to get those. That might just be me. For your plot, what is the first thing that happens?
Fisherman goes fishing every day to go fish.
And how many times will he fish?
4.
I put that on mine too. But yeah, I put fisherman only tosses the net 4 times for him going fishing. And what's number 5 going to be?
Fisherman puts him back into the...
Work for me. Fisherman tricks genie back in the canister.
I'm tired.
Me too. All this learning is exhausting.
I know, right?
Teachers are worse. 3. Fisherman discovers genie in the canister. So if 3 is the fisherman discovering genie in canister, and 1 was him going fishing, what does 2 have to be?
Fisherman catch dead horse. Horse.
You mean donkey?
Same thing.
They're a little different. What comes after catching dead horse donkey? What's the good
Opens
thing?
canister.
I can just put finds canisters with me. And that's where he has to catch the metal canister before we find out the genie's in the canister.
Oh.
So 3, the fisherman discovers there's a genie. 5, he's tricking genie into the canister. Why does he trick the genie into the canister?
Genie threatens to kill fisherman.
There you go. Threatens death.
Threatens not in.
Excuse me, did not mean to bring that up. Sorry. When I read out loud all day, I have to keep swallowing air as I read.
That's
and
weird.
Swallowing air kind of makes you get all hiccupy. And apparently burpy. For the point of view,
Third person.
is it first or third?
Third omni.
Third? I'm strong on third.
Omna.
It's their omni.
Omna.
Third limited.
It's their omni.
Omna.
So hang on. What character does it start off following?
Fisher.
What scene is the fisherman not in to make it omniscient?
When genie's on
When the genie's talking about his past.
Who's he telling that story to?
Fisherman.
Oh.
Oh, man.
So is there a scene without the fisherman?
Kind of.
Nope.
So what's it going to be?
Limited.
Grumpy, grumpy, grump, grump. For the theme, remember you're not telling me like fantasy because that's a genre. Your theme should be generic, where it's not going to apply to... Don't do what my kid earlier today and said, my theme is never trust a genie that comes out of a bottle and tries to kill you when you try to put it back in. I'm like, that is way too specific. It is not going to apply to any other story. So you have to be way more generic than that. If you put like, don't trust things, that would work. I could apply that to other stories.
Don't trust things you see.
Jaden,
Don't trust people
like, how does it connect to the story?
because he trusted
The fish.
the thing.
The genie
Yeah.
works for me. I would count that one. Yeah.
Don't open boxes.
How does that apply?
Because big box. Genie man kills.
That would probably work. Never open presents. It might make Christmas a little awkward. That's between you and your family. I went for strength doesn't always win. Because who's stronger?
Genie.
Who wins?
Fisherman.
Yeah, not the genie. So you don't have to have mine. If you had one that works, that's fine. If you put don't trust things, that's fine. You put don't smoke, I don't think that works.
Where'd you get that from?
Because there's smoke in the story. Kids, I'm telling you things that kids have said earlier today.
Don't smoke, kids.
There's special little munchkins.
They are special.
Not disagree. And what is our definition of internal conflict?
When he makes decisions to open doors.
Well, hang on, what's the definition? Starts with a D. There you go. What word do you have to use? And then what word can you never use? Let's see how quickly you turn into globetrotters.
I know.
Fisherman
I got it.
is not a...
Fisherman. I got it.
Uh-huh.
open the box, or keep
Go in
the
that
box closed.
Technically, that would work. All right, Juliana.
Opens the box or sells it.
Technically, he kind of does both, but drop. I can see you're going with it. I still accept it though. Daniel,
Choose to die or drink genie.
I would accept that too. That's actually where I went for it. Accept death or find a way to live.
I got both.
By the way, the genie also has to make a decision too. Don't globetrotter up on me.
Go in the box or kill man.
That would work. I can see that. He has more than one decision.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna say kill Chris Fisherman or spare him.
That would work too.
But that's
So
not.
the same idea. What is our definition of external conflict?
Outside.
Battle. What do you have to use?
First.
If you can't figure out the external conflict in this story,
This one's hard.
Fisherman versus mother.
nicely done. Feels like you nailed it. And then the part where you have to explain why it's important to the story. Why do we care about the genie and the fisherman fighting each other?
And this
Me
is
either.
basically the whole story.
Yeah, you can't do that, globetrotter. That's the same answer for every time there's an external
It's
conflict.
important because
Why are they fighting each other?
I don't know.
Because
Because
Genie wants to kill him.
And does he want to die?
no.
Yes.
In theory, if I were to pull out a knife and walk over towards Connor and get ready to stab him, Connor is most likely going to fight back, we hope, instead of just going, okay, and just laying there. And so then that becomes the battle as I try to stab Connor, and he's like, no, stab Brian! And that becomes your battle as you're trying to do the whole thing, is hopefully trying to live qualifies in that whole not dying thing. In theory, we've just given you all the answers for the kids paying attention. And the kids who aren't giving me big scared eyes.
Yeah.
Still staring at me.
Who, what? I know.
Wait, I know.
She's saying hi. She's giving you a look. Which one did you want me to go back to?
What was the theme again?
Yeah.
That's like a while ago. What was the theme again?
What was the first one?
Yeah.
I feel the same way. Hi, Adrian.
I have a good one.
Okay.
Fisherman versus luck,
What?
How so?
because he has to have enough luck to catch fish.
And then he does get good luck in finding a container. And then it's bad luck because it's a mean genie. But then he has good luck because he gets away. And then bad luck because he has to build a house. Uh-huh.
What are the medals on that poster? They're
Up there,
all
my
big
grandfather was in World War II. And those are the medals he earned while he was in the Navy. And so he gave them to me when he passed away.
Oh, too. My uncle also in the Navy.
Hi.